Thank you once again for choosing Joy News. Government is considering acquiring lands that have been at the center of a protracted dispute between residents of Alavanyo and Nkonya for years. This comes a day after 2 people were shot dead at Nkonya in the Volta region. 2 others are also injured. The attacks came few hours after the Interior Ministry announced its periodic review of curfew in the area. Both the Regional Security Council and that of the district have been locked up in series of meetings as they seek to avert further bloodshed. Volta Regional Minister Dr. Archibald Lecha tells Joy News government may acquire the lands as a means of halting the protracted dispute.
We have to engage the people more and let the youth understand that without peace, there will be no investment, they will not get jobs to do. Their future will be bleak. If you have land, and you can't go to farm because you are afraid to be killed. It means that there's going to be hunger in the area, and the mainstay of the economy in the area is agriculture. So if they don't farm, it means that poverty is going to increase in the area. So we need to engage them more, and also government some years back attempted to have a dialogue as to what to do with the land. And as of now, it's clear that the people of Alavanyo-Nkonya and Nkonya Atai are committed to releasing the land to the government to use for whatever purpose. So government is also going to take it up and see whether taking the land from both sides it will be a solution, a lasting solution to the problem. But when we take the land, we must put it to use for the people to see the benefits of releasing the land to government, because they are now committed to releasing the land, because if that is what is causing the problem. But there are also some lawbreakers who are taking advantage of the situation to do all kinds of things over the illegal loggers, people who cultivate Indian hemp and so on. I also take advantage of the situation to embark on their illegal business.
And you heard the Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Lecha. He spoke earlier on News Desk. You're still watching News Today on Joy News. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Let's continue with this story because the Volta Regional Minister also hinted of plans to disarm residents.
If bodies are in the morgue and the identification exercise will take place any moment from now, but it was quite an unfortunate incident that happened yesterday, and we were all shocked that this has happened again.
What is being done to prevent escalation of the situation in the immediate term?
Yeah, we have the security men on the ground. As I speak to you now, the District Security Council is in a meeting, and we are also standing by, even though we have intervened already by sending men from adjacent districts to the area to support the military on the ground. Calm has been restored, and we are going to meet the Regional Security Council together with the Regional Peace Council, because we were there not long ago. We were there a few weeks ago, and the people assured us that this was not going to happen again. But as you know, the majority of people may be committed to peace, but you may have 1 or 2 badness who will be committing these crimes. And we are also committed to getting to the bottom of the crime, because it's a crime. And the police are going to investigate to bring the perpetrators to book. But we are appealing to the community, because when these things happen, without tip-offs, without information from the community, it's very difficult for us to get to the bottom of the issue. So we want to appeal to witnesses, people who have evidence to provide us, so that we can arrest those responsible for this heinous crime. and bring them to face the law.
And indeed, some minutes ago, you just spoke about the meetings by the various security councils. You've spoken about the District Security Council, which is currently meeting. You've also spoken about the Regional Security Council, which you head. It was just yesterday that the Interior Ministry reviewed the curfew there. Is it likely that during any of the meetings, the curfew hours will be reviewed again?
Yes, based on the recommendations we will receive from the District Security Council and our own assessment of the situation, we may recommend to the Minister to alter the curfew hours.
Will the Security Council also be considering the disarmament of the two communities?
Yes, we are working towards that. And we've been assured that we'll get the resources to support us in that exercise.
How do you intend to do that?
No, I think we need to use legal means to get to the communities, get to do searches, depend on whistleblowers, depend on intelligence, so that if there are any arms, illegal arms in the area, we can retrieve them. So to maintain the peace and order in the community. Because once we have arms in the hands of potential lawbreakers, these things will continue to happen. I want to stress that 99% of the people in the area, Nkonya, Alavanyo, are committed to peace, because they know that without peace there can be no development in the area. So we just have to come together and deal with a few miscreants who are determined to always cause confusion in the area. But the security services are on top of the issue, and I believe that we will get there.
And in dealing with disarmament, let's stay just on this a little longer. There have been a number of policies in some conflict-rigged communities where I remember that the former Interior Minister, Makoyongo, for instance, championed this cash for arms and all of that. None of these worked. And so moving ahead, what kind of strategy would the council be putting in place to ensure that this time around people willingly get their arms?
Yeah, it will depend on advice from the relevant security agencies who are expertise in this field. They will have to advise me so that I can also advise the minister as to what to do going forward.
I know you're yet to meet yet, but are there any long-term plans the ministry is considering to ensure lasting peace in these two communities? There
have been suggestions, and there have been meetings in the past to consider government acquiring the conflict land. There have been discussions in the past, and during our recent visit to the area, the Alavanyo people, the Nkonya people are all committed to releasing the land for use by the state. And if that is called to bring peace to the area, I think government will consider that seriously.
Now, some civil society groups are punching holes in government's flagship Planting for Food and Jobs policy, warning the plan in its current form cannot revive the agric sector. Government launched the policy on Wednesday with a promise it will build an agric warehouse in every district of the country to help preserve food stuff. But stakeholders, however, say the building of warehouses could create a problem of marketing for their produce. Sector Minister Dr. Usefi Yakutu has been responding to their concerns on Joe FM Super Morning Show. He started by defending the expertise of the Agric extension officers being brought on board.
I'm saying that these are young men and women who have been trained in the agricultural sciences, who can have the theory and the practice because they've done all kinds of attachments and so on. And it's just unfortunate that the previous government didn't see any need for such skilled labor. The government of today is very much aware of the contribution such young men and women can make to agricultural development. And therefore, we are hiring them to work along with the farmers to ensure that the specifications required for planting improved seed and the application of fertilizer and the maintenance of the farms are well done, so that we can get the maximum yields from these improved seeds that we have supplied to our farmers.
Right. Now, some of the farmers, in fact, the largest association that I'm aware of, Peasant Farmers Association, are suggesting that they were not really consulted widely when this particular program was put together.
Yes, we cannot consult everybody when we are only 3 months in government and we want to get things moving. This thing about consultation is the government which has been voted to have for specific things to do, and these are the things that the government is doing. So let's forget about consultation. Let's look at the program, whether it will have the required impact. We are very confident that we are going to have the required impact by raising productivity on farms in Ghana, improving the welfare of Ghanaian farmers, increasing their incomes, creating the surpluses for agro-processing, for export, to make food cheap in the urban area. These are the objectives, and we are very determined as a government to bring this to fruition.
Very well. Just to be clear, though, when you say let's forget about consultation, I mean, Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana is the umbrella body for over 80% of farmers in Ghana.
About 80%. I don't want to go into that kind of politics, please. Let's look at the program as it is. I mean, I don't want to go into whether it's representation. Ghanaians have elected this government by such a huge majority, and we are implementing what we said we are going to do. That is the most important thing.
Right. So you don't think that their input could have made this better in any way?
I'm saying that we have set ourselves the objectives, the programs, we are implementing them, and we are confident we will deliver to the people of Ghana.
Very well. The seedlings, the delay in the seedlings that is being complained about.
No delays, please. I mean, these people are where you are getting all this information. All the seedlings required for this program are out in the districts in the southern sector when the rains have just started, and we are distributing them. Fertilizers are going out this week to all the districts, and they will be distributed in accordance with the regulations of the program.
Right.
There's
so
no delay from any source. Our programs are on time. Everything is in accordance with what we have planned, and we are going ahead with it.
Okay. Is there a lifespan, a perceived lifespan for this program? Is it meant to last for a certain period of time?
All the 4 years of where the Ghanaians have been elected as for 4 years, and we are doing this program steadily for the 4-year period, starting with 200,000 farmers or so. We are going to, the target is to reach half of the farmers of this country, at least half. That's about 2.5 million by 2020 when the term of this government comes to an end for a renewal.
Let's talk a little bit more about the extension officers. How well equipped are they? What sort of equipment is being provided for them to do their jobs?
All the equipment necessary for them to deliver, we ensure that that will be done.
Yes, can you tell us about it? What sort of equipment will you be providing?
First of all, the equipment they need are their skills and the identification of the farmers they are supposed to be responsible for, the number of times they are supposed to visit them, and what they are required to do in the field. We've done a refresher course for them, all of them, and they are being deployed to the districts. Whatever logistical and other equipment that they require, we will supply.
In other news, Lands and Natural Resources Minister John Peter Mewu is partly blaming mines inspectors in the regions for being responsible for the increase in galamsey activities in the regions. The 21-day ultimatum, which ended last night, revealed that over 500 excavators had been retrieved from these mining sites. But the revelations from the assessment tour by the Minister and Minerals Commission of some illegal mining sites in the eastern region exposed how some inspectors look on for galamsey to thrive.
The assessment tour was to afford the minister and his team the level of compliance following the 21-day ultimatum. The fact-finding mission revealed several abandoned mining sites in areas like Kubrisu, Itiwa West, Inyinim and Chibi. Joseph Frimpong, Mines inspectors in these areas who spoke to the media are unable to explain how difficult it has been for them to monitor. Joseph Frimpong is mines inspector in the region.
When we have the case where somebody just jumped in here, as we can see, nobody has issued any license here or a permit here for them to work.
You're supposed to work for the commission and you live within the area. You pass here every day. This is not your first time maybe you've seen this activity. These things have been ongoing. Have you made any attempt of coming closer to this guy and tell them, look, my friend, you've not been given a license?
Yes, that one we will, like you said, if I have had the chance to pass here, it's not an area, this is the road that we don't normally pass. If this place is very close to the road, if we have had a chance of passing here, we would have come to stop. Now that all of us as a nation have seen, I would have even employed you, the pressman, to also be our informant. I tell you.
But we are not here with you. You know that this particular area, for this site alone, they do not have the license to operate. So what exactly is stopping you working here?
I tell you honestly that if I had been here, if I had passed here, this equipment, I would have asked that it be removed.
But I'm asking, what is stopping you from coming here?
You mean now?
Yes.
Well,
now,
before. Not that I don't come here, but I do go to other areas. And what I am saying, if I have had the chance to pass here.
Lands Minister also intends to crack the whip on mines inspectors who failed to carry out their duty, as it emerged that an officer was drunk at the time of our visit.
Now, getting the permit for the excavator is going to mandate us to do the tracking that we've been talking about. So as we are going to get a permit for the excavator, there's going to be tracking devices on the excavator. This will monitor us to do it properly. Please, let me tell you, this action, it's not a one-day action. It's going to be a sustainable and long-period approach, and that is why we're saying the MMIP is going to be a 5-year program to totally sanitize the whole system.
Honorable, how are we going to monitor these things? Because one thing that came up during our visit to some of these areas is monitoring.
Precisely, I agree with you. You realize in some of the sites, our engineers there are one person in an office, monitor almost about 34 areas of small scale, which is of course not possible. I have engaged my CEO, and immediately we're going to procure motorbikes for some of these areas. We need at least a minimum of 4 people in some of the district offices. We're going to employ people as quickly as possible. We have to look for the money. Tony, we need to do that. It's very important because the monitoring is key. One person cannot be responsible for a huge area like that. How can he do it? And again, my worry again is to my good friends, the police officers that we spoke to. I mean, what is happening is lawlessness. You don't need Tony and myself or my deputy minister to come and tell you that what is happening in your district, you need to act. The police officers are there, the law enforcement agencies are there. Lawlessness has nothing to do with the minister responsible for mines. They have to act immediately. And I'm extremely grateful to the CJ, for coming out with these 12 courts that have been established to deal with 14 courts, to deal and process illegal galamsey cases. Of course, that is a swift reaction, and I'm extremely grateful for that. We are going to go after this guy. We'll keep on going after them. They should not think that they are going back. But I want to say that I'm extremely happy for having lived up to the 21-day expectations of the duration we've given them. That is good enough. We will come back and talk to them, but for now, they shouldn't go back. We want Matilda.
There's this perception at one of the sites, some of these officers within the district are being compromised in one way or the other. How do you address this issue?
Well, Professor, I agree with you. You saw our district manager we met today, Yao. Where is Yao? Yeah, this is the gentleman we met today, heavily drunk. And so how can such a person, be responsible for what we are doing? And we are asking that he should be immediately transferred back to Accra. He is going to work in my office. I'm going to put him in my office. If you put people like this to work, there's no way you can expect any accuracy in terms of monitoring. So I agree with you. The difficulty have to do with some of the people we have on the site. So monitoring is a problem. And immediately we're going to enlarge the numbers of people we have. One person is not enough for a huge area like this. We need to increase the numbers, provide them with what is responsible to enable them do the necessary work. They're asking for motorbikes. How much does it cost to provide motorbikes? At least 4 motorbikes per district. This should be done to make sure that monitoring is key.
The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, John Peter Amewu, also assured of continuous efforts to crack down on illegal mining.
Still on this, a Chinese miner has revealed to our sister station, Adom News, that most of his colleagues are not engaged in illegal mining, as being reported in sections of the media. He explains much of their work is in partnership with Ghanaians and is specifically in the area of small-scale mining. He spoke with Adom News editor Kofi Adoma.
How many years have you been in Ghana?
10 years.
10 years. Wow. How do you see the country?
Oh, it's a beautiful country. I like it here. Same like my second hometown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your second hometown. You love Ghana.
Yeah.
But second, there is this issue of Chinese and galamsey. What do you know? Is that really the case?
No, really, Chinese don't have any galamsey because Ghana, he not allowed is fortunately do galamsey. But it's a Ghanaian people, he can do small scale mining. But he not have money. But he need our Chinese people, technical engineer and system. Is a machine. And the Ghanaian people interested for Chinese people coming to get a partner and do is small scale mining. That's where I do that. We are rent machine for Ghanaian people and to get a partner I do for mining.
Oh, okay. That means no one can blame the Chinese. If someone is to be blamed, is the Ghanaian.
No, single Chinese people no can do any mining for Ghana. Because Chinese people, he doesn't know where is it. Half gold, where half is land. If your house, you don't know me, how can you enter your house? That is a partner. He fighting for us, and because we will have a machine, we are happy for them together do business.
Okay. So how do you feel when you hear, let's sack the Chinese from Ghana, they are spoiling our water? How do you feel?
No. Really, your Chinese do not spoil water because water side also 70% is Ghanaian people. He do Changfa machine, you know, small use empty drums put for Changfa machine. He broken for waters. Chinese people is, I know, so no is close, too close is the water side. That way I know because I know go there because you only rent machine for Ghanaian people. If our company also have a machine. Rental every day charge for them, give the business.
Now, the president of the Ghana Journalists Association, Alavanyo-Nkonya, says the coalition of media entities will continue their fight against galamsey until the menace is stopped. The comment comes a day after the expiration of the 21-day ultimatum given for illegal miners to stop the practice. Speaking with me earlier on News Desk, Mr. Moni said all must come on board to deal with the problem.
On the issue of military men being deployed to galamsey sites, this is the first time such an action has been taken, and we pointed out, and it bears repeating, that Polycarp has been so conspicuous with its absence in the fight against galamsey. We thank God this government has plucked up this will, and we hope they will sustain it. There will be occasions where military men on their way to galamsey sites have been called to timber because of the powerful people who are involved in galamsey. They are so powerful that they can penetrate the impenetrable, the highest echelon of government, and then order troops on their way to galamsey sites to come back, to withdraw. And if this time around we are told that they are not only going to scratch the surface, but deal surgically with the galamsey, then so be it. We applaud the government for doing that. But we monitor. One of the things we're going to do is to ask our people throughout the regions. We're also collaborating with the NCC. Like I said, we had a meeting with the NCC. And the NCC, have their presence in all their districts. In fact, we've brought in all their district personnel who give us reports about what is happening. And which is one essential component of our campaign is naming and shaming. And the naming and shaming is so more punitive than even slapping the heaviest fine on perpetrators of galamsey. So we're going to name, for instance, some of the people who have been identified. They deserve to be so named and shamed. And I believe it's not enough. It's just a slap on the wrist to ask somebody who is deeply involved in galamsey to move his equipment from site and just transfer somebody who's heavily drunk to Accra. We'll take it up and ensure that the right punitive measures are exerted on these people to serve as a deterrent to others who are deeply involved in Galamsey.
Your final words, Mr. Moni?
This is a fight, as I said, which is winnable, and there's a Malian proverb which says one finger cannot wash the face. But it requires that all fingers, contextually, every media house should replicate what Joy FM and City FM are doing. They should also team up with the coalition, because this is our greatest contribution to the fight against Galamsey. And indeed, history will hold a special place for the present generation of journalists for taking the fight to the highest level as far as Galamsey is concerned.
And you're watching News Today with me, Beatrice Edu. Stay tuned in. Thank you for staying. Now, farmers are asking government to provide irrigation facilities to address erratic rainfall pattern as it rolls out the Planting for Food and Jobs program. There are concerns wanton dissipation of the country's forests and other practices that cause deforestation are threats to sustainable cultivation of food and other crops. Though the farmers embrace government's new initiative, they believe irrigation must receive serious attention. The farmers spoke at the presidential launch of the Planting for Food and Jobs program at Goso in the Bono-Ahafo region. Prince Apia reports.
The much talked about Planting for Food and Jobs was launched at Goso in the Bono-Ahafo region on Thursday. The program was attended by high-profile government individuals and stakeholders in the agriculture sector. President Akufo-Addo, in his speech, revealed plans to set up a warehouse in every district for storage of food to avoid post-harvest losses. Though farmers embrace government's new initiative, they believe irrigation, among others, must receive serious attention.
Program, I'm very happy about it. It's able to help us to improve our farm activities. Also in the livestock session, as the government said. Nowadays, the rainfall is short. It's not as in the previous ones. So if you can get machines like irrigation, it will help us.
We are expecting that what you have said will come to pass. We are getting into farming season, and as a result, we want the seedlings to come as early as possible so that when the rain falls, we can start growing our crops.
The president also touched on plans to address unemployment by engaging graduates from agricultural institutions as extension officers.
There are less than 2,600 extension officers across the country, with some 80% of the total number going on pension in the next 2 to 3 years. Between 211 and 2015, unfortunately, none of the 3,200 graduates produced by the 5 colleges of agriculture were employed to assist farmers improve on their productivity and output. It therefore should not surprise us that the agricultural sector was on a systematic decline in recent years, recording a mere growth of 3.6%, less than half of the 7.4% achieved in 2008. To help rectify this anomaly, government has employed 1,200 graduates from the 5 colleges of agriculture who completed between 2011 and 2015 as extension officers. In 2018, we will employ 2,000 more extension officers with a solemn pledge of employing more graduates from our colleges of agriculture in the subsequent years.
Paramount Chief of Goso Traditional Area, Nana Kwesi Bosompra I, wants government to prioritize issues about farmers.
So we are bank manager, we are a year. This year, no, pay. So be a person who acquire bank eduma. Now, Chimota for Omoba, one a quack be on. The best say, Jumadia Bay, young fire, whom Yanya, whom Yanya money a year. President, another one sassano. Yes, some at the more day one, and I'm in my assassin in a Sikawa and I'm the outer sword. The best say, Jumadia, Yababa pound to my. And I know young way and some young fan assassin, my this year. No one to me, and for more new Jumadia.
Prince Apia reporting.
Now, some residents of Nima in Accra are accusing railway workers of selling lands to squatters who are in turn causing discomfort to them.
These shacks belonging to the squatters living along this railway line started from 1, moved to 2, to 3, and now they are in their hundreds. These squatters are posing a lot of discomfort to residents living in this community. But what is worrying is that they have the tacit approval of some railway workers who sell off these lands to them.
And you know, it's growing, it's growing. They are still building, they are always building, it's growing. Huh? And I cannot imagine that it is the railway company that is giving away things like that, you see?
Yeah. When it's raining season, you see this place?
Yeah.
It will go straight to the down there. You see a big gutter there. It will enter. But as they brought these people, now the line, the water won't go to enter our house. Sometimes they will
get flooded.
Yes. Sometimes they will ease themselves and throw it inside my house. Loud music. Sometimes you hear them fighting. When they smoke, they are listening. You hear them fighting with knives. I'll kill you. I'll do this. Some time ago, they fight around, let's say, 2 o'clock up to the next day. You see? Sometimes they will play music loudly. You can't even sleep. You see, sometimes you come from work, you have to sleep. The next morning, you have to go to work, early morning. A few weeks ago, a guy came around claiming he's a chief. He said they should come to him, prepare a few money, and then snap for him. They will stay here forever. So they also prepared those things and went to the guy. The guy even came to my place. I even know the guy who just had this thing when we came to this area. Yeah. Brothers are here. Wow. So this has kept on going on. Now they have a guy who lives here. They used to call him Red. He is the one railway people have been using him to sell the land for the people.